So hi class, just a quick guide to writing your academic paper or essay. So I want you to use resources and references that I gave you as a starting point to explore and expound on a certain topic that you'll be writing or discussing in your paper. So preferably something that is of personal interest. And I also want you to cite concrete examples from the references you related to your own experience, and then you add and build up with more related literature review. So some of the questions that you might want to ask prior to writing your own paper is: number one, I want you to identify the broader topic or the school of thought within which the author's references are working on. So say for example, if you are specifically writing a paper about interior design, is it the field of landscape architecture or architecture in general? Are you exploring such topics as gender, race, culture, and is it all about sustainability? So these are the broad topics that I want you to identify first, and then second, I want you to narrate the basic and general pieces of the articles or resources and references that you just read. And then third, I want you to explain the thesis of that the references. So when you say thesis, what is the point at which the author is trying to write about and reach to the audience or the readers? And then number four is to cite the examples or quotes from the readings and resources when you are writing your essay. So what are the particular quotes and particular parts that struck you? So you might want to include those in your academic essay or paper. And then fifthly, I want you to establish the connections to outside examples to explain your views or perspectives that you may recognize or relate to relevant contexts and recent events. And then six, I want you to discuss your personal perspectives or views of the reading. So what do you think about the articles, the resources? Do you agree with the author's views? Do you think what they're writing about is something that you do not agree with? And then you need to justify and explain why. Do you think so? Or do you think that the views of the author can be or should be improved, maybe? Something like that. And then seventh, of course, I would like you to include the in-text citations when you are citing a specific line from the reference. And aside from in-text citation, of course, it is standard that at the end to include your references, and it should be done in APA style. Okay, so apart from the references that I gave you, which you can include, but I do not expect you to include all the references that I gave you, you also need to add to your related literature. So depending on the topic that you are writing about. Okay, so I want you to take a look at also and review the format that I'm requiring. The size of the paper should be A4, and please refer to the rubric for the grading. What I mean by Turnitin submission is that you need to head on to the Turnitin website, and usually Turnitin will ask for the class ID and also the enrollment key, or that is the password of our class. So this one is unique to our class, so please share the password to the Turnitin submission. So I would like to stress that Turnitin submission and Canvas submission is different. So Turnitin submission will help me detect if there are some sources maybe that are plagiarized, or maybe there are some sources that probably you forgot to cite. And of course, Turnitin will also rate your similarity or provide the similarity index. For our class, I would require that it should be 15% and below. So for example, if the similarity index is 16%, then I would most likely require you to revise your submission and then send it back to me again. So hopefully the similarity index should be 15% and below. Okay, so again, the Canvas submission and Turnitin submission is different. Before you submit to Canvas, I need you to submit it first to Turnitin, and then Turnitin will give you a receipt that you have submitted the paper. And the receipt, please take a screenshot, and when you submit it in Canvas, you also submit the paper and also the Turnitin receipt. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay.